Hi, my name is Tyler Frieders. I work for the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, and I'm here to show you how to take a replicate sample. We just got off the lake with our composite samples. We just went through all of our composite sampling techniques, and now we're going to do a few replicate samples. You take these the same exact way as you would your other samples, except you're going to write replicate on the label when you're finished with them. So we're going to take our A bottle right off the bat here, triple rinse it. Just like you would a normal sample. You want to fill it right up to the neck like you do your regular samples, and then we're going to cap it, label it, make sure you have replicate written on your label. We're going to stick it in with our other samples into our cooler and full of ice, ready for the courier. We're going to go on to our B bottle next. Triple rinsing that. Alright, now that we got our B sample, we got to fill up to the neck. We're going to add 2 milliliters of sulfuric acid. So uncap the sulfuric acid here. Here's my pipette. We're going to take 2 milliliters of sulfuric acid. Make sure to only take what you need. Don't take any more than 2 milliliters of sulfuric acid. You don't need any more than that. And then transfer it to the B bottle. Cap your sulfuric acid. Dispose of your pipette properly, and invert your B bottle a few times, or you put it in the cooler. Make sure it's labeled correctly and has replicate written across the label. The last sample we're going to take here, or excuse me, the second to last sample we're going to take here is our chlorophyll sample. Same thing goes for this chlorophyll A sample. We're going to triple rinse it. Once it's filled up to the neck, we can cap it, label it, and put it in our cooler. Nothing special about that one. Next, we will be taking a C replicate bottle sample from a public swimming beach or boat dock. In this case, we'll be taking it from a public swimming beach. Alright. And then we're going to take our bottle and try to avoid any surface scum. Late summer, you're going to get a bunch of algae up against the shorelines and stuff. You're going to want to try to avoid that. You're going to take the bottle, break the seal on the top. We're going to actually invert it so the mouth of the bottle is facing towards the water. We're going to lower it down, and once we get down to about a foot and a half or about a half a meter, we're going to re-invert it and bring it back up, and that'll be your sample. So here we go. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure your sample's right at the shoulders of your bottle. And something to note, for your C bottles, unlike your A or B bottles, you're not going to be triple rinsing them prior to your sample. You're just going to go straight down for your one sample after breaking the seal and bringing it up. Now that we're done with the C sample, you can label it and put it in the cooler with all the rest of your samples. We're going to move on to labeling and replicate data sheets. Okay, now we're going to make a couple labels for replicate and blank samples. As you can see here, this is a chlorophyll A sample, and it's marked composite. Some labels will have a blank and replicate box on the label. So right below it here, we're going to actually make a, let's call it a blank sample. Same kind of deal, we're going to initial that. And that's going to be our blank label for whether, if it's got a box, it's really easy, you just need to check it. But sometimes that labels, they don't have that box to mark replicate or blank. So what we do for those is we just go up to the top and we write across it blank or replicate. Now that's the only difference between the labeling between your composite samples and your blank and replicate samples. And that's it. Okay, we're quickly going to show you how to do a data sheet up at the truck. The big things here, you're going to be signing your name, time, and date. A lot of the times the rest will be filled out, but if you don't, you're going to need your agency code, your source water, your site location, project, and project ID over here. The big thing here is what you're marking for your samples. Composite, if it's a composite sample, a grab if it's a grab, or your blank and replicate samples over here. So if I was sending in a bunch of composite samples, we're gonna have to make sure this one's marked. If I was gonna send in, say, a bunch of composite samples and replicate samples, we're gonna mark, say, replicate on the next data sheet instead of composite. But other than that, another good thing to note is down here, usually they're gonna have what the health lab's gonna be testing for prior to you labeling it yourself. But if not, make sure in your A bottle, B bottle, and C bottle, you have checked off what we need the health lab to be testing for. Other than that, I suppose a big thing to remember is make sure that these data sheets get into that gallon Ziploc bag on the bottom of your cooler lid, and make sure it's sealed up and waterproof for the trip. One last thing I wanted to mention is if you have any questions or need any more direction on this, you can find it on page 9 of your field manual. With that being said, that's all I have for you. Stay safe and good luck out there.